Everybody.
Hello.
Good afternoon. We are here today. We're very excited to have everybody on this call, this particular webinar. We're very excited about what we're going to be presenting today. It's a big day for us because we're going to be showing off our new CRM, which is really a big thing because, as everybody knows, or as most of you should know, DSS is a great tool for your website to help you update your website, content management system, allow you to do all your blogs, all your library articles, add content to your website, review your analytics. Well, now we've added a CRM, which is going to allow you to communicate with your contacts, with your clients, with your leads, with your customers. And so we've taken the best of what we've seen in other software programs like an Infusionsoft, Constant Contact, what is it, MailChimp, all these other programs that we know that people use, and we've taken the best of those and put them into DSS. And we're ready to demonstrate that to you, and we're doing our final testing. As we speak, we have several tests going on within our own organization and then some clients testing it, and we should be able to launch this hopefully by in the next few weeks. And so we're here today to show you the capabilities of it. And Danielle's got quite an agenda for us put together, detailed as always. So Danielle, why don't you go ahead and you got to show your screen now.
I know.
And then take it away. And I will be Vanna White as usual and respond to what she's showing. Go ahead.
All right. So now we're showing DSS, and this is on our development server. So this is
Well, hold on a second before you get started because I already made a mistake. So if you have any questions during this webinar, please go ahead and put them into the little toolbar on the side where you can put in questions, and then Mike will bring them up as appropriate, whether it's during the webinar or afterwards. But any questions, go ahead and put them in that little box. Thank you. Sorry, Danielle.
Great, no problem. So as you can see on the screen now, we are showing DSS, and this is a development version of our software. So this is all test data, and this is where we're working on the CRM. So we're going to take a look. First of all, I'm going to give you an overview of all the features that we have available in this phase of the development, and then we're going to go into detail for each one. And I say this phase of the development because we are rolling the CRM features out in several phases. Phase 1 will have all the basic functionality that you'll need to do your marketing, and Phase 2 will have additional features, as will Phase 3. So let's go ahead and get started. So you can see over here on the left-hand side, for those of you who know DSS, there's going to be a new menu section for the CRM. And the very first item here, Get Started, this is going to be a tutorial all about the CRM, so you'll be able to learn at your own pace and how to use the various features. The next thing we're going to look at, Contacts. So this is where you can add, update, or search for contact information. You can also upload a list of contacts and tags from your existing CRM system if you have it. And you can also export contact data out of the system, for example, if you have a print mail campaign that you want to do. Under Contacts, we have Tags, and this is where you can add a new tag, search for or rename an existing tag, or delete a tag. And tags are the thing that you can add to a customer record to help you keep track of your customer status, the marketing campaigns they're part of, and so much more. Think of it as an easy way to label and categorize all the contacts in your database. The next item we have here is email templates, and this is a really big part of the CRM, and it's the ability to create an email template that you use to market to your list of contacts. So in this section, you'll be able to create a new template, or search for, edit, or delete an existing template. You can also add attachments right here in DSS, and that's going to allow you to send out attachments as part of the email campaign to your customers. Moving on, we have the campaign section of the CRM, and campaigns are how you bring together all the things we just talked about. So your campaign is going to be a sequence of email templates that you set up, and they'll get triggered by a tag on the client record. For example, let's say you want to market to people who request a free book from your website. You would set up the book page in DSS with a form, and you'd associate a tag with that form to the campaign that you created, so that campaign gets kicked off when a person fills out the form. Now, the person who requested your book will receive your marketing emails on a regular basis, all decided by you. You can even create a step in the sequence where you email your book publisher and ask them to mail a copy of the book to the contact. So this section right here is going to be very important, as this is where you're actually going to pull together and create these campaigns. And you can search for existing campaigns, edit ones that are running, and even delete them if you're done with them. The final section we have here, and this is pretty exciting, this is the forms, and this is our custom form builder that our team built from scratch, and we actually have one of the developers on the phone with us, Chris Abbott, and Chris, this is your baby.
You can say hello, Chris, to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Hello,
everyone.
It's going to be Chris Abbott.
Good to be here.
Is where you're going to go to edit your forms. And those of you who already know DSS know that on your website we create for you a main contact form, a little mini contact form that's on every single page of your website. You also have a newsletter sign-up form, and every offer that you add to DSS gets its own form. So we start you out with standard fields for each of these forms, but once you start using the CRM, you'll be able to customize each form any way that you want. And we're going to show you how this works a little bit later. All right, so that was our high-level overview of all the features in Phase 1 of the CRM software. As I said, we will be adding more features in Phase 2 and 3 based on feedback from our clients. So the next thing we're going to do is actually go over each of the sections in more detail to show you what we have going here. All right, we're going to start with the Contact section. So I'm going to go back into Contacts, and we're going to start with Add New. So this is where you would actually add a new contact. So there are a couple ways to do this. You can, of course, add contacts one at a time manually if you'd like to, and you can see all the contact details here. It's got standard fields, email, company, person's title, their name, address, phone number, alternate addresses, their website. There's also a birthday field, so you'll be able to send them information on their birthday. And there's a flag here where you can set the contact to be active or inactive. Now, the other way that you can add contacts is you can actually import them. So if you have a list of contacts from an existing CRM database, or if you just have a list on your own, you can actually import them right here. And we do provide you with a sample file that you can look at to see the format that it needs to be in. So all you have to do is put your contacts in this format and go ahead and upload them to DSS. You can also, if you are using another CRM, upload the tags that you currently have associated with each client. And that's what you would do in the second step. This button here, Import Contacts with Tags. So once you've uploaded your contact list, then you upload the list of contacts along with their tags. All right, so now you've added contacts. You can also search and edit all of your contacts, and we're going to click right here for that. You can see our standard search field. You can type the person's name, their company, their email, the phone number, or the address. Any of those items can be typed right here in this field to do a search. And that's going to be your basic search option. Now, if you want to get a little more sophisticated, everybody who uses DSS knows that this down arrow means there's more choices. We click that, and you see in addition to those fields, you can also search by your existing tags. And I can select all and unselect. We also have your campaigns. So these are all the campaigns in this CRM right now. So you can search for everybody associated with a certain campaign. And you can also do a, date range for when the contact was added. You have a number of different ways that you can sort through your contact list. Now, those of you who've used the CRM know that one issue you can have is you can have duplicate client information. So you can have two records for one person. And if that happens to you, you just need to use the merge feature. So I can go ahead, let's say that these two are the same record. I'm going to select those two contacts. I'm going to go up here to Actions and select Merge. And here, you'll see that DSS gives you the ability to select which of the emails is correct and which of each of the fields where there's duplicate information, you can select which one's correct, and that'll allow you to merge those records. Now, another thing you can do, if you check, let's say I want to check all of these folks, I can go back up to Actions and Assign, So we can assign them all to campaigns or tags. So this allows you to take all these 5 contacts that I selected, and all at once I can assign them to a certain campaign, assign or unassign them, or I can assign or unassign certain tags. So this is great if you need to update your contact list in bulk. All right, another feature that we have here is the export feature. So again, if you've selected a number of contacts, you just go back up to Actions and Export, and this will give you the option to export the data. And again, this was a request from our clients because some of you like to print off export your contact list to send to a printer so that you can do a print mail campaign. So you'll be able to pull the data.
Or maybe they need to export it and bring it into their needles database, or whatever. I mean, they could use it for a variety of things. The point is that we let you pull it out, pump it in, pull it out, whatever you need to do.
There we go. All right, and there's a few more things if we go into an individual contact record. So you saw all the fields earlier when we were showing you how to add a contact, but once you have an established contact, you can actually see that you have a notes field available for the contact, and here's where you can add notes about that client. And you can see we have a few in here already, so you'll see the time and date stamp when it was added. You'll also see the author, and the author tag will be the DSS user ID, so anybody who has access to DSS that you've set up will be able to come in the CRM and use this feature. And you'll see the notes. And you'll see here that you can actually expand the notes field, so you can add as much information as you need to. You also have the list of campaigns that this contact is currently associated with and the date that they were added to that campaign. And you can also assign them to one of your campaigns right from the client record, or you can remove one of the campaigns. You also have all the tags that the customer is associated with, the date, the name of the tag. And here's a really neat feature. If you want to create a tag on the fly, you can do that. I'm going to type a new tag here and just check Add. And now I've created a new tag that's available for any other contact, and it's been added to this list right here. And I can delete it if necessary. Or I can select from all the existing tags. You can see there's a new tag, and add it to the client record. Very easy to do.
It's almost too easy.
No such thing as too easy, Tom.
It's really easy. Compared to other ones out there like this, it's much easier. I don't want to mention any names, but.
Now you can also see the contact history, which tells you the activity on your website for how the contact has reached out to you. So here we can see that on this date, the person requested a report. All right, so that's an overview of the contact section of DSS. And now we're going to move on to the tags. And this is pretty straightforward. Again, you can add a tag, and we showed you how to do that on the individual customer record, but you can also do that from here. So here I have another new tag, save. I can also search for my tags. And then I can see a list of all my tags. And you'll notice that I can edit the tag or delete the tag, and I can see how many contacts are associated with each tag. All right, so there's your tags. So now let's take a look at the email templates. This is exciting stuff. So we're going to start with adding a new email template. Let's take a look at the fields we have here. Now you have your template title, and this title is internal. It's just for you to see, and this is for you to be able to organize your templates, so make sure you select a name that's useful for you. The next field is your sender email, and this is going to default to yourself. You're the person setting up the campaign. And the to email, if you don't do anything here, it's going to default to the contact. So let's say you have this email template associated with a campaign for a client. This email will go out to that client. Now what you can do is change it to, let's say, your internal admin, or you can send an email to your printer and give them instructions during a campaign sequence to do something for that particular client. So keep in mind you can be very flexible with this.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because that's how you handle multiple modalities when you're sending out different things in your campaigns. Right. So sure, you can send out an email directly to anybody in the that's on this campaign. But then if you want to send out a DVD or if you want to send out a book that requires somebody to manually do something, that's what you're talking about, right, Danielle?
Right.
So you would send that to an assistant, or maybe it's a third party, and you just
Right.
let them know, and then in that email say, please send you know, you can put all the information in there, and there's also wildcard stuff that you're going to talk about that can go in.
Yeah, so again, you can send this email to anybody, and Tom gave some great examples. During your campaign, you can ask your printer to send a book, or you could ask your admin to call them on their birthday. I mean, anything. You'll find a lot of uses for this particular feature. Next one here, you have your email subject line, which is, of course, the subject of the email, and that's what the person who receives the email will see. Then your email content. So here's the body of the email, and those of you who use DSS will recognize this text editor. This is a standard editor that's used throughout DSS, so you should be very familiar with it already. And you can create, you know, you can add images, you can use templates, you can also edit, you know, view the source code and edit the HTML if you wish. And we also provide mail merge variables for creating dynamic emails. And I believe they're up here in the tooltip.
Yeah.
Right.
So explain what that is, Danielle.
So this is what Tom was referencing. You can use any of these variables, first name, last name, the address fields, the phone number, or the email. And if you use one of these in the email template, it will pull the contact's data. And this is great because you can actually customize the email to say, dear first name, and it will be customized to the person. And the other great thing is that we have the address information in here so that you can send an email to your printer and say, please mail my personal injury book to this address, this name and address. So you can, really easy to task people this way. Or include a phone number if you want, let's say you want your front desk person to call them at a certain point in the sequence. You can set that up and say, please call John Doe at this phone number. So lots of uses for these fields.
A question about that. What is that little thing, character called before and after?
The tilde?
It's called a tilde, okay, in case you wanted to know. Now, why do you have to have that? That's the wild card, right? That needs to be,
yes,
you just type that out.
Right. That's what signals to the DSS that you want to insert customer data in this field.
So, in this example, just like what we were talking about, if you're sending it out to I want to send this DVD to this client. That needs to go over to whoever is doing your production, your procurement. Then you would put those in the email to them,
right,
so they know where to send it to.
Yep, exactly. All right, if we go down under, you can see that we've got email attachments, and we'll show you how to add these. You do have to add these separately, but let's say you want to send a client a welcome packet attachment. You could load it into DSS and then make one of the steps in your new client campaign a step to send that to them. Or you can send a form to your admin and ask them to process the form for the client as one of the steps. There's really a lot that you can do with this. And we do allow you to upload PDF or Word documents. And we'll talk more about that a little later. Another neat feature down here is that you can search for content on your website. So if you can type a keyword and search for a particular topic. Let's say you've been adding blog posts about some new estate planning law that's passed, and you're going to make that part of a step in your estate planning campaign. You could just type a quick search here and come up with the content items. And anything you want to search for, you just click the arrow here, and it'll add a link to that content to your email. So very easy for you to add content links. And we have this here because we definitely want to encourage you to have links back to your website when you create campaign emails. And why do you want to do this? You do this because you want to encourage people who have interacted with you to come back and visit your website again and re-engage with your brand. And this is great for reminding them about all the services that you offer and for driving up your return visitor traffic to your website. All right, so if we go back, let's say you filled out all your forms, the actions you have. You can actually send a test email. So let's say I want to try this out and make sure I did everything correctly. I can enter my own email address, or I can send it to somebody else to proof. That's going to be very handy for you. Or I can just save this email template and move on. Okay. So now you've created your email template. You can actually go search and edit your existing template. And again, you'll recognize this field. You'll just search by the name. Remember, I told you that very first field on your email template to give it a descriptive name that will help you find it later. This is why, because you're going to see a list here of all of your email templates by that name that you gave them, and you'll be using the search field to find them if you have a log. So you'll type in your search, and it will narrow the fields down for you. And of course, from the search results, you can see the list of all your templates. You can see how many are in a certain sequence. And you can also edit the templates from here or delete them. All right. Next, we'll move on to attachments. We told you earlier that if you wanted to include an attachment as part of your email campaign, that you would have to upload it separately, and this is where you do that. You've got the Upload Attachment button, and you just need to, as you can see, we support these types of documents, Word documents and the PDF, and you can select, this is standard, you'll see this field, this button throughout DSS. This is how you can select the document from your desktop to upload, and then you can upload files individually or upload a number all at once. And once you've done that, you can go to the attachment section here and actually see a list of all your attachments. You'll see the size and the date they were added, and you'll be able to, if you click on it, you'll be able to view the document. And then you can upload more attachments or create a template or see all your templates. All right, let's move on to the campaigns where we pull it all together. We open up the campaigns here. We're going to start with adding a new campaign. So all you have to do, again, give the campaign a title, and this is for your internal use. So I'm going to do My New Campaign, and then the status, as you're creating the campaign, we recommend that you change it to inactive while you're working on it, and you make it active once it's done. So I'll go ahead and save My New Campaign. Now, here you can see I have a lot of fields to work with. I've got the tags section here, and this is where I can associate certain tags with my new campaign, and you've seen how this works. I can create a brand new tag for my campaign, or I can associate it with an existing tag. And then, of course, I can remove them if I want to take them off. And the sequences, now this is the part where you pull together all your email templates. So let's say for my new campaign, I created 5 email templates, and I want to send them out one at a time. This is where I would do that. So I can give a title to my sequence. And I'm going to start with it being active. And I'm going to delay it. You can set how long you want to delay. And the delay is from the date the campaign kicks off to when that email gets sent. So right now, for example, this one would get sent out after 3 days. Or I can pick a specific date from the calendar. So let's say I want to send out an email on July 4th as part of this campaign. That's how I would do that here. Or you can pick the birthday. So the email would go out on the contact's birthday. And then I select a template to go along with it. So again, I've already created my templates, and I'm just pulling them together under a campaign. And if you need to create a template, there's a quick link here that allows you to go straight to the email template section and create the template. And once I've set it all up, I add it. So there's my step.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. This one I want to delay for 10 days. That one. So you'll see it'll sort by the number of days first, and then by the specific dates. And then I can delete these or edit these as necessary. This is where you build your campaign. I build my campaign, associate it with a tag, set up my sequence.
It just seems too easy. It seems like it should be much harder than this. It's not, Danielle?
It's not. It's just that easy.
Wow. Amazing. Michael, you've done other CRMs in the past. Do you find that this one is easier or harder than other ones?
It is a lot less complicated, that is for sure. A lot less running around trying to figure out what is where.
Just trying to keep this real simple for what you need, like DSS. We don't fill it full of a bunch of nonsense that you never need to use. This is really the bare bones. Well, not even the bare bones. This is what you need to use to successfully market to your clients and your leads. You don't need much more.
That's right. All right, so now that we've created a campaign, we can actually go search and edit our existing campaigns. You can see a list of all the campaigns. And here's my new campaign. And I just wanted to remind you that after you've set it up, you want to go ahead and make sure that it's active. And this works just like all the others. Again, you would use that search box here to find a specific campaign, or you can look at your entire list. You can see how many sequences are in each campaign, and of course you can edit or delete them. All right, that is the campaign builder. So the last section we're going to look at here are the forms, and this is probably the most exciting section, for me anyway. All right, so when you click on the form button, it actually brings you to a list of all the forms. And as I said earlier, you do have 4 types of forms that come with your DSS website. You've got your main contact form, which appears at the top of the list. You've got your mini contact form, and this is that smaller form that appears on every single page of your website. You also have your newsletter form, which is on the page where people can sign up for your newsletter. And then you've got a form for every single offer that you create on your website. So those of you who use DSS know that you can do landing pages, you can create book offers, white papers, anything you need, and each one of those pages gets a form. Now, the great thing is that you now have full control over each of these 4 types of forms. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of them. I can click on the form to edit it, so I've got my main contact form. And you can see the title here, so I know that I'm working on my main contact form. And then you can see a lot of fields on this page. Now, the great thing I'm going to show you first is that any changes that you make here to all these fields, if you want to see what's going on, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. And you see this handy preview section? This actually shows you exactly what the form is going to look like. So I can see that the heading of my form is "What's up, party people?" I change it. This is my heading. I scroll down. See, it changes it here in the preview, so you'll be able to get an idea of what the form is going to look like. And you also have the intro here, so I can say, please fill out my form. And you can see now I can actually put a little text right underneath the heading, so you have full control of all of it. You also have control of the name fields. Let's take a look at that. I've got a first name field, and the label is first name. And the placeholder, which is what appears inside the box. I'll show you what that looks like. This is the text right here.
Danielle, if I can jump in about that placeholder feature, that's actually browser dependent. We certainly code it and we offer that option to define that placeholder, but it's actually not supported across the board universally in every single browser. So you don't want to rely on that too much, but it's certainly good where it is supported. It's nice to have, but
right, so you want to
we can't guarantee. Yeah, the label. Yeah, the label is the most important. Yeah, that you have that clear and concise. But the placeholder is just kind of an add-on, a nice to have. So.
Right. So my first field here with first name. This is going to be the label, and this is what appeared inside the box. And you can also decide if the field is required or not right here, and I can change the type of box that it is. You can see I can edit any one of these fields, or I can remove. Let's say I want to remove the comments. There we go, it's gone. I want to add it back. I can add a text input, a text area. So I just click the plus. I've got a new field. And it adds it right to my form. And once you click Save, this will be immediately updated on your website.
What's all this silly stuff in there? Gimme, armadillo, quesadilla. What's all that, Chris? Where does that come from?
Test data.
What's this Han Solo business?
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Now, at the very top, those options are defined up in the details area at the very top. So that's actually the footer where you could put really any kind of little, yeah, postscript note for the
You can
form.
also name the button label.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Look at
Yes.
this, guys. Fancy, fancy.
There we go. Submit.
Good job.
We like to have fun here while we're testing. You can tell.
I don't know where all these Star Trek and Star Wars references come from, though. I don't know where they're coming from.
All right. So you, of course, have the ability to add a tag to your form. So this one is labeled as contact form and weekly newsletter, which means that anybody who fills out this contact form will receive these two tags, and you can set up campaigns that go along with them. So anybody who contacts your business can get an email campaign if you wish. And of course, if they get your newsletter, they'll be added to the list to get your newsletter when you send it out. All right. So that's an overview of what you get with phase 1 of our CRM. And as you can see, we provide all the basic features of a CRM right in DSS. So now you can manage your customer records, email marketing, and your forms all in one place. And for phase 2, we're going to be adding email tracking and analytics to DSS so you can see your open rates and other important metrics for email campaigns. And some other features we're talking about adding are tag categories. So you'll be able to go into your list of tags and create categories to put them in. And for those of you like Mike Knademan who have a giant list of tags for marketing, you'll be able to better manage these. We're also going to look into adding URL parameter tracking so you can see right in Google Analytics when people come to your website from one of your mailings. Because remember, we're encouraging you to add links back to your site, and you want to know which step of the campaign is sending people to your site. So you'll be able to do that, set that up in DSS so you can use Google Analytics to see what's going on. We're also adding a feature so that when you add a note to a client record, and we'll go back in there real quick. If I go to my contacts, and I go into one of the customer records, remember we have this section down here with the notes. So we're going to give you the ability to email a note to anybody who has an account in DSS for your business. So that let's say you wanted to send your partner a note about a certain client, you could just type the note in here, save it, and then send it to that person. So if they have an email address in DSS, you'll be able to send them a note. And we're going to be looking at more ideas from our clients. So as people start using the system and giving us feedback, we're adding more and more features in phase 2 and phase 3. Pretty exciting stuff, right, Tom Foster?
It's very, very exciting stuff. And so let me ask a couple of questions. First of all, does this mean that anybody that contacts me through my website, through a contact form or calls or a chat, does that all get put into the CRM automatically?
Yes. Anybody who fills out a form on your website will be added to the CRM.
And so I should have everything pumping through the funnel of my website, right?
Absolutely.
Right. That way everybody can be marketed to that contacts me through my website, right?
That's right.
And doesn't it cost me money to do a lot of things to market, to do outbound marketing, like add content, pay-per-click, whatever, to draw people to the website?
Yes, every one of those contacts that comes to your website you paid for, so you want to make sure that you make the most of them.
Right, so they have a value. Now, not all of those people are perfect clients of ours or yours, right? But that's what tagging is for. So maybe they're not a perfect client, but maybe they're a referral client, or maybe they've been a past client. So, you know, that's what tags are for, is being able to tag people however you want. And you can go in and do tagging after someone contacts you. So let's say, for instance, they come in and you think they're a good lead, and they've been tagged that way, but then they turn out not to be. So then you might want to give them a different tag, right? Or vice versa. Somebody that just came to get a book and got on your book campaign, then becomes a client, then you would change their tag, right, Mike Knademan?
Absolutely. You should be doing that regardless of the CRM platform that you're using.
That's exactly right. Now let me ask this other question, Danielle. Is there an additional cost to Fosterweb Marketing DSS users for the CRM?
No, all of our existing clients can use the CRM for no additional charge. All you have to do is submit a ticket or give us a call or email us and ask to be added to the list. We do have to set you up individually. We'll have to set you up with a CRM and convert your forms over for you. So we do need to do this one client at a time, and we're going to do it in order that you request. So if you think this is something you want to use, go ahead and email us at tickets@fosterwebmarketing.com, or again, just open a support ticket in DSS and ask to be added to the list.
That's right. Customer service is ready to get you on the list, to get you set up with the CRM as soon as it's available, as soon as we can. As Danielle said, we need to make sure that your site is ready for it. There's some upgrades that need to be done. None of this will cost anything to you. And then we need to, obviously, if you have a giant list that you want to import, we probably want to help you do that to make sure that you're not hurting yourself or anything. So if you're interested, and I don't know anybody that would not be interested in this CRM, unless you've already got a robust database in Infusion or Constant Contact. But if you're looking for another solution, or you haven't had a solution, then this is an obvious choice for you. We are certainly going to be utilizing it ourselves at Foster here as soon as we're done testing it out. I'm excited about the different phases. One of the big important things is being able to measure the success of your marketing. And so phase 2 will be big time with that, being able to add analytical data in your email so you know exactly what's being read, what's being opened, what's being seen, what people are clicking on to get back to your website. So we got some questions?
We do have some questions, so we're going to go ahead and go down the list. Let's see. What information, e.g. contacts and campaigns, can be imported from Infusion, and if so, how? Jonathan, you'll be able to bring in a contact list and tags from any other CRM.
And the way that'll be set up, Jonathan, is there's actually a sample CSV file that you can download that you can use right in Excel. And as long as all the context information lines up with the columns within that CSV, they'll import seamlessly right into the CRM.
So again, you can import contact information and tags. So the next question we have is, can custom fields be created in the contacts? Right now, you cannot do that. We've talked about whether we can do that down the road. But if there's a certain type of field that you think should be added as standard, we'd certainly like to hear about it, because we can add additional fields.
That's one of the things I wanted to, custom fields.
All right, the next question, can I set up the CRM to automatically add anyone that either emails or orders my book via my website? So yes, if somebody goes onto your website and orders the book through the form, anybody who uses any form on your website can be set up with a tag and therefore a campaign. So also, will there be a way for recipients to opt out of receiving these marketing emails? Yes, there's always an unsubscribe at the bottom of all the emails, so they can't do that.
That's a great point, and I'm glad who asked that question.
David Todd.
David Todd, good question. And I just like to bring that up for anybody, just as kind of a usability rule. With any CRM, with any email, any marketing program, you have to have permission from the people that you are marketing to. So those people that go out and buy lists or scrape and then start emailing people that have not requested your information, or you have not gotten permission to market to them, that is against the rules, and you are breaking a law. So don't do that. You need to have opt-in. There's single opt-in, there's double opt-in. That's when they confirm and confirm twice. You need to have at least a single opt-in, otherwise you can get into some trouble. So make sure that the people that you are marketing to, regardless, have given you permission to do that. And that's one of the reasons why we want to work with you to bring in your contacts to ask you some questions like that, to make sure that you know what you're going up against, because you could just get blacklisted or graylisted for marketing to them and you won't even know it. So you need to have some discipline. What other questions?
Let's see. Another question about the custom tags. Again, right now we cannot do that, but we're looking at whether or not we can do that in the future.
You mean custom fields?
Sorry, custom fields.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any risk of a Google spam penalty from a regular use of a CRM to your client prospect list?
Well, that's what I just was talking about. It's not Google spam. You can be a spammer and get, if you're sending to a list that is not approved, then you can get hit with that for sure. If one person complains, it can take you down.
And make sure that the people you are uploading into the CRM, you have their permission to market to them. That's the main point here.
And don't send spammy emails out.
Jonathan's asking, when should the CRM be functional and active? That'll be within the next few weeks, Jonathan. And I believe you're on our short list to test it for us, so thank you. Is it possible to make simple newsletters to send out in the email? Yes, we actually already have a newsletter template in a whole newsletter section in DSS. That is, you can use it as part of the CRM, of course, but it's already there, so I didn't show it to you. But right now, you can set up a newsletter sign-up page for your website, and you can create and email out newsletters right from DSS. And again, that exists today, so you can continue to do that going forward.
And we're going to move that under the CRM.
Yes, you'll be able to
umbrella.
access it right from that section of the menu. Is there a size limit to the number of contacts we can upload? At this time, there is not, but I'm sure that's coming.
There is going to be variables in the amount of contacts, and that's going to set some different pricing standards. But for you guys that are already part of that have a DSS license, you give us a call, we'll get you set up. We have a hotline for you to call.
Yes, it's 888-281-8961.
You can call that. What's the URL they can go to? Or no URL, just call that hotline, and then we'll get you set up.
Okay. Thank you, Jill. Since Danielle's a rock star, I had to read that.
Danielle is a rock star. Thank you, Jill.
And then Jonathan said, is there a way to automate tagging, e.g. upon download of a particular book? Yes, Jonathan, I showed you when you edit the forms. So you would go into the particular author form for that book, and you can add as many tags as you need to for that particular author, so that anybody who fills out that form will automatically get their tags on their record, on their customer record. Can you switch people from one campaign to another if they do certain actions, such as if they click a link, they become more qualified and go to another tag? Right now, we don't have that. That is one of the more advanced features we're looking at adding in one of the future phases. So thank you for asking.
Who asked that question?
Kim Franklin.
That was a good one.
Does the CRM allow users to create custom fields? Yes, like I said, we don't have custom fields right now. That's something we're looking at doing. Mark Cardy says the Wu-Tang Clan is funny. So there you go, Chris. You got a fan. And Jonathan Cooper's asking,
that was Mike. I got to give that to him.
How would you use this in conjunction with a newsletter when the newsletter function is distinct within DSS? The newsletter, it's going to be the same as it is right now. You would just use it the way you're doing it today. And you noticed on the example I showed you with the main contact form, it had the newsletter tag on it. And if you add that tag, then whoever fills out a contact form automatically gets added to your newsletter list. That's the way DSS works right now, and will continue to work unless you change that. So I hope that answers your question. And how do you select which tagged contacts receive each email? When you add a tag to a client record, you will associate that tag with a certain campaign, and it's the campaign that has the sequence of emails, one-to-many emails that would go out when you specify. So if a person has that tag, and the tag is associated with a campaign, that campaign gets kicked off. I hope that makes sense. Can you add pictures to your forms? Not to your forms. That's an interesting idea. So thank you, Benjamin Blake. And a feature to generate macros based off a contact notes field would be fantastic.
You can add pictures to your emails, though.
Not to your forms.
Right, but not to your forms.
Not to your forms, but to your emails, yes.
Yes.
So thank you for the idea, Jonathan. And David Harwood asked, how easy is it to sort out duplicate contacts or to manage multiple contacts that live at the same mailing address but have a different email address? You'd have to search for them by name and then decide which of the emails you wanted to keep if you're going to merge them. Kim Franklin asked, is there any way to implement SMS texting options within a campaign we create?
That's a good one.
Yeah, we actually do have that ability in DSS where you can text when you get a contact form filled out. So that's something we could look into adding here.
Yeah, but that's a part of DSS that you would automatically get as a separate thing, but that's an interesting thing that you could set up as a campaign element. Yeah.
So we can look into doing that.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion.
And Kim Franklin again. And she also asked, once you sign up for the CRM function, how long will it be to be set up on your site? I can't really answer that because it depends where you are on the list. So if you sign up today, we don't have as many people right now. Not sure how many people we have signed up, but the sooner you get on the list, the sooner it will happen. It
just depends upon how
right.
Complicated or whatever your marketing is currently. Case by case, that's where we're doing it that way.
And will the CRM help with compliance management, auto remove, bounce, bad emails, etc.? What will be your compliance standards? From Jill. And Jill, this is something we are working on. The email provider that we use has standards that we have to follow with the opt-in policies, and we're also looking at how to best manage the bad email addresses and auto-removing bounces and things like that. So we can get you some more information on how that's going to work. And then Kim asked, in the future, will there be requirements for payment for this service, or are we grandfathered in if you sign up for it now? Kim is an existing client. This is just something you'll get as part of DSS. We're not charging you any more for it. And Christina Caparel wants to know are we set up to send hard mail? So snail mail, I assume you mean, as in the client does not have email. No, you would have to.
You could do it that way.
Yourself.
Well, this doesn't automatically send out a hard, like snail mail, but what you would do is just like we were talking about with the DVD or the book, you could have you could send an email to your production staff to send out.
Right. So let's say there's a letter you want to go out to a client. A step of the campaign could be to ask your admin or your printer and you could attach it right to that email, so please send this out to this address, person at this address. Jill wants to know why we're not charging for this.
Because we're idiots. No.
Because we want you to use DSS and we want you to be successful and we want to make it even harder for you to leave us.
That's right. We want to create a very robust marketing software, which we have. And we know that it doesn't have all the features of like Infusionsoft, which is a very capable and robust product that we use. We wanted to create something that for most of our clients that they have one solution. And we have further, updates and upgrades that are coming to DSS in the future. Our review module that's coming out that we're working on, and our social media module that's coming out that's going to allow you to publish directly to your social media from DSS. So we just continue to make DSS an awesome piece of software for our clients, whether they're do-it-yourselfers, whether you're working on it on your own or you have smart marketing directors like Jill working on it for you. Either way, and Jill, thank you for saying that. That's our thing, is that we take what you guys say, and that's what has made DSS what it is. It's all feedback from our clients. And we continue to want to hear from you guys on how we can continue to make the software better and better and better.
Yeah, I think Tom mentioned earlier that we are in the future looking towards a tiered pricing model where we would charge for different levels of CRM access. But again, for our existing clients, this is just something you're going to get as part of what your DSS license fee that you pay us.
Yes, so you guys are grandfathered in.
And then Jonathan says he's super stoked for this. So thank you, Jonathan.
I love your use of stoked, Jonathan.
Yes, good, Jonathan.
And then Kim says a time estimate on the main topics and issues we're focusing on for the next CRM update, so the phases 2 and 3. I don't have an estimated date right now, but as soon as we know more when those features will be available and exactly what they'll be, we'll send an update out to all of our clients. And Mark Carty wants to know, in regards to the snail mail question a minute ago, once the analytics are added, would there ever be the opportunity to input data manually to track? For example, if we snail mail a number of clients and get feedback as a result, could we input information into the CRM to track this?
Well, you could put information into analytics directly to track it. It depends. depends. I mean, like, if you're looking for a clickback link,
No,
that's
we're
going to
talking
be
about
tough.
snail mail. So
Yeah, I mean, in a snail mail, what you would want to probably do in that case is have a particular domain URL that you would track. And so, is that how you're understanding?
And Mark, what you can do is if you get responses to a direct mail campaign from certain contacts, you can have a tag set up within the CRM system where, say, you send out a postcard, you could have postcard respondent as a tag, and then apply that to the contacts that come in on that campaign. And you'll be able to see the number of people that responded to, for instance, that postcard because they are associated and marked with that tag.
Mm-hmm.
thank you, Mike. Let's see. David Todd wants to know how Infusionsoft took the news that we're breaking up with them. We were never exclusive or really dating, so they understand.
They're Infusionsoft. We're just
we're small fry.
we're small fries.
We still support Infusionsoft. We still have clients who use it and love it, and that's not going to change. We just found the need to provide some CRM features within DSS for one reason, so that all of your information is in one place, so that the contacts that flow from your website can go right to your CRM, and we can give you all the tools you need to do your basic marketing right there. That was the biggest thing, because we've had a lot of clients who try to use other programs, and it's very confusing, and it's frustrating trying to move between different systems. So we're giving you the ability to have all the basics right in one system. So it's not to make these other systems go away. You know, Infusion is a very, very powerful tool. It has a lot of features, but for some of our clients, it's just more than they need. So we're just trying to give them the basics here.
Any other questions? Those are some good questions, and I'm sure you'll have more. And so, and as those of you that get on the bandwagon to use it, once again, what is the phone number?
It is 888-281-8961.
And you'll speak with either Karen or Molly, and they'll schedule.
I'll add you to the list.
Yes, they'll add you to the list, and you'll go from there. Now, can you bring up the summit slide? You have it. And one last announcement. Those of you that have